My name is Jeff Blacker. We'll go through a round of introductions in a few slides. I am recording my screen for people who couldn't make it, so be on your best behavior. What are we going to talk about today? We'll start with the welcome and introduction. We'll go to a webinar schedule to make sure there are no surprises. You know what week you're presenting. Then we'll have the fun interactive part. We're going to show you the tools you have during your webinars. We'll even do a mock case study so you can practice using those tools in breakout rooms. Forum questions, we've given the participants an opportunity to submit their questions to you after watching the modules, so we'll show you how to access those questions so you can be prepared for them during the webinars. And then we'll close with some items that we need from you before your webinars. So I'd like to turn it over to Janina and Rochelle from the A2II.
Thanks, Jeff. And well, thanks first of all, everyone, for being available for this onboarding call today. And of course, a great thank you from our side for participating in this course and for being a trainer, and for everyone who's already sent in their videos and modules. I think we hope that you had the time or the chance to look at what we've done with those, and that you're happy with it. But if you have any comments, I think we are always happy to receive them, since I guess you know that's the first time that we are doing this course in a fully virtual version. So it's a test for all of us, and I think we'll learn a lot along the way. But so I think I've met most of you already, but for those who I haven't met, which I think is probably only Simone. I'm Janina. I work for the Access to Insurance Initiative, and I've been working on this training program from the beginning of that partnership that we have with the IAA and the IAS. And we've done that training 3 times as an in-person training back in 2019. It's been quite well received at that time, and we paused obviously for COVID-19, and now moved it to a virtual format, and we're excited to see how that's gonna work out. So welcome from my side, and I'll hand over to Rochelle because she'll also be with us most of the time, and she can introduce herself as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Rochelle, and I'm usually logging in as the secretariat, so you'll see my name as secretariat, but I'm here and I'm providing organizational support throughout the training for the online modules as well as the webinars. So it's nice to meet everyone and to be involved. It already looks like we have a really great group of participants and high engagement, so we're looking forward to it all, and just reach out if you need anything. Hopefully everyone has been able to access the platform as well. Welcome again.
So we have 11 trainers. I'd like to give us all a chance to introduce ourselves. We'll go in the order of the pictures, which means I have to go first. And then we have Nigel. Your picture's not on here, but if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself after Janice. I've read through all of your bios, and I got to say it's pretty awesome to read. I mean, every bio is better than the one before, so you've all done some pretty fun stuff, I think. I'm Jeff Blacker. I'm a consulting actuary, mostly with health insurance. I'm based in the US, but maybe 12 years ago I started traveling to developing countries to do microinsurance projects, and that's what I enjoy doing the most. In terms of other trainings, I've done 3 ILO pricing workshops I've led in Africa. 2 of them were online, or 2 of them were live, and then with COVID, we switched to online, similar to what we're doing with this training. Anything else? I also do online training for actuaries who have to take their final exam to get their fellowship in the US, and those are online seminars as well. I've been doing that for about 15 years. So with that, I will turn it over to Fred. That's enough about me. Fred?
Got to find the unmute button. Thanks. Yeah, Fred Rowley. I'm in the same terms as Jeff. I'm a long-standing life insurance actuary. I've been involved, like Janina, in this partnership since it started. I actually took part in a live face-to-face session in Jakarta. I took part in a precursor of these sessions, the forerunner, which was actually organised by Jules, who'll come up in a minute, in China. Spent a week in China teaching people from various supervisors around the world. I am on the steering committee on behalf of the IAA, and I can say a bit more about the IAA, but perhaps some other time. That'll do for me. Thanks. It's gone quiet.
Alex, you may be on mute.
I can't see who's next on your list, so I wasn't sure it was me. So Alex Kunast, I've also attended one of the live sessions in Jakarta with Fred. I'm predominantly, I guess, a life and enterprise risk management actuary. I'm based in South Africa, but spent five years in the Netherlands. Now back in South Africa. I've also had a chief exec role for a specialist funeral insurer before rejoining the consulting space.
Can everyone see the slides? I'd never asked.
Yeah, I can see them. It's
Okay.
Britta Knight.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Britta Hay, and I'm based in Kingston, Jamaica. So most of my background actuarial is in pensions, but I spent 5 years with the financial regulator here in Jamaica, and I'm currently working at the University of the West Indies and doing some consulting on the side. And I took part in the training in Trinidad in 2019, so there are quite a few familiar faces to me from that training, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Hi, I'm Stuart Wason. As Fred says, another long-standing life actuary, and I'm a Canadian actuary based here in Central Ontario right now at my cottage. It's lovely summer weather here. I participated in the A2II training with some of you in Trinidad a couple of years ago. And I'm chair of the IAA's Insurance Regulation Committee. That's it for me.
Okay, I'm Jules Tribble. As Fred mentioned, I ran the precursor training program that sits behind all of these initiatives in Chongli in 2017. That was a one-week training program for 40-odd supervisors in 20-odd countries, and the focus of that was on using actuarial input for supervisory purposes as opposed to creating mini actuaries. Over the last 20 plus years, I've been involved with more than 25 training programs for supervisors covering insurance, etc. So I have a bit of experience to bring to the board, and I supported the recent IAA, A2II initiatives, having set up the initial agreement between the three bodies in 2017. My background is I'm an Australian actuary. I have background in life and superannuation and operational risk. I also have regulatory background from the IAIS, and I've been involved with actuarial education as opposed to supervisory education also for the last 20 odd years.
Hello, I'm Simone. I'm the newbie here. I'm a life actuary. I've been a consultant for about over 20 years. Started in pensions for about couple of years, then switched over to life. I've operated out of Canada, Europe, and now based in Barbados, where I kind of focused on a few company failures. And I did just also spend some time at OSFI in Canada as well, with the regulator there in the actuarial department, a few years there. And now I'm very keen to collaborate with Jules on the ICP 17. I've done a lot of work on the solvency and the issues in smaller countries. So I think I'm glad to be part of this group. Hi, Britta. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Simone. I'm Craig Thorburn. I work for the World Bank and have for about 20 years, and I was involved in the face-to-face version of this in Trinidad with Britta and others, Eamon as well. So looking forward to reconnecting with everybody in that. I think most of the people on the screen I actually have met and know quite well, so should be great fun.
I don't think Eamon is able to join us today, so Elias, we'll move on to you.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so I'm Elias Omondi, currently in Nairobi, Kenya. I was involved in the African training that was held in Mauritius some time back. But in terms of experience, I've been working in the regulatory space for the last 10 years, basically supporting the development and implementation of regulations, in specific risk-based regulations. And I was instrumental in the development of risk-based capital in Kenya. And over the last couple of years, we've been working with the IMF to develop a simplified solvency tool and capital standard for 11 African countries. And it is great to really be in this group and see how best we can still support regulators that are in the sub-Saharan African region. Currently, I do work for the Financial Sector Deepening Development Agency supported by the UK government, and my role is basically to support development of policies and regulations for the insurance regulators. So I work closely with the insurance regulators now across Africa to drive that systemic change of having an enabling regulatory environment. Thank you.
So I'm Janice, and I was involved in the training in Mauritius with Elias. So it's good to also see quite a few familiar faces. So I'm currently a lecturer at Wits University in Johannesburg, where I teach some undergrad and some postgrad actuarial courses, mostly life insurance. And I also do quite a bit of consulting work in the microinsurance space, and I'm training for regulators, mostly also around inclusive insurance. Thanks.
Right. Also, last but not least, Nigel Bowman. So, yeah, another life actuary from South Africa. I've got a fair bit of product development experience, mostly around a number of African countries. That's where I've been for pretty much my entire career. More recently, I've been a co-founder at an inclusive insurance startup, and I've just recently moved back into doing my own freelancing work. Together with Fred, I'm one of the representatives on the steering committee from the IAA side in this initiative. And playing very much a support role to Fred. And I also chair the IAA's Inclusive Insurance Forum, as it's now called. And I've got a bit of a freebie on this one because I'm actually not one of the presenters, but I'm joining in and listening to what's going on in my capacity as being on the steering committee. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, everyone. So as I said, the bios, you guys have all done some really amazing work, and it's fun working with you. So in terms of our participants, we have 43 participants enrolled for this 4-week course spread over 21 countries. Over half of them are in Southern Africa. So if you look at the red dots, they roughly represent where people are located, but the dot in Southern Africa represents probably 10 different countries that are close together. The 11 of us are spread across the map as well. So the timing we picked for the trainings would be what's most convenient for people in Southern Africa. So we use Central European time afternoons for them. That's why some of you are teaching leading sessions so early in the morning and others so late at night. We have a list of participants available. I will make that available to all of you because I realize some of you probably know some of the participants. We also have an introduction form. Later on, you will get a list of different direct links to the forum topics we have, and one of them is an introduction form where all the participants, they have an exercise where they're introducing themselves. So you may want to just pop in and read, or it'd be even great if you posted an introduction for the participants to read there. So the next 4 slides are just the 4 weeks of the webinar, the 4 weeks of the training, and we'll look at a quick schedule of each of those weeks, make a few points. So using the first week as an example, the first row you see is the topic of the week is risk management and insurer distress. The leftmost column is the date, and the next column is the time. So our webinars are always on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We have 2 90-minute sessions each day with an hour break in between. So we meet from 12 to 1:30, take an hour break, and then the people come back for another 90-minute session. The next column is a description of the activity, and the ones in red are where we could use additional trainers. Even if you're not assigned to that session, we could use, for example, or we thought you might enjoy hearing the participant introductions when they do their icebreaker. So that's why you see a red font there. We also have red fonts at the bottom. You see we have a case study every Thursday afternoon in the final session, and we will be having people in breakout rooms. And it would be great to have additional trainers if you have time available to join those breakout rooms in case one of the groups gets stuck or hung up on the questions. The final row of the slide shows a network virtual coffee break. So one of the downsides of having these sessions virtually is people don't get to have a snack break and get to know each other informally. And so after 4 o'clock each Thursday, we're going to leave the platform open for people just to get to know each other. The next column is the duration, time estimate of how long each task is going to take, and then the right 2 columns are the 2 assigned trainers for that session. So there should not be any surprises here, but the names listed for the week 1 webinars are myself, Yanina, Fred, Stuart, Alex, Jules, Britta. I think I've said everybody. Before I move on to week 2, are there any surprises? People you thought your name should be here, or you're surprised that your name is here? Good. Week 2 is similar. I don't think we need to go through slowly every slide here, but it's more of the same. Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have actually multiple case studies on Thursday. We're looking at actuarial valuation this week and actuarial reports, and we're looking at an actual report in the case studies, one from a general insurer and the other from a life insurer. I want to point out as well, the second to the bottom row here is in red. This is another item we could use more people, or you might enjoy participating. The action plans. This is where we ask people to reflect on problems that they're having in their own work and how they can apply what they're learning during these 4 weeks in a concrete way when they go home, when they go back to work. And so over the 4 weeks, we're gonna have them work on this several times, and it'd be good. You may be able to give them valuable feedback. So it'd be great to have any of you who are available join us for the action plans. So the names here, Jeff, Eamon, Britta, Stewart, and that's it for this week. Any surprises here? Any questions? Week 3, we moved on to risk-based capital and reinsurance. Let's see, anything new to point out here? We have a case study on capital requirements. The primary trainers are myself, Elias, Jules, Simone, and Eamon this week. No surprises, I hope. Our 4th and final week, it's heavy in action plans. This is where we really want people to drive home what they've learned, how they're going to take it home and apply it. We're going to ask the participants to present their action plans. They work in cases where we have people from the same country, but we want them to present their action plans together and develop an action plan together. So it's great to have you there to provide feedback again, and based on all of your wide range of experience. The trainers for this would be Janice, Craig, Eamon, but hopefully we see a lot of you there this week. Before we move on to the fun interactive part, are there any questions so far, or any comments or concerns? We want to practice using a few of the tools you'll have at your disposal, including polls. Let's just start with that. Yanina, do you have a poll ready for us to, this is, if you guys would like to have a poll during one of your webinars, we just want to show you how we'll look to the participants.
Exactly. So I had one ready, but now it's not coming up. So this is
I can launch it for you.
here it is. Okay, perfect. So this is how the question will come up. It will always come up, I think, in the chat window, but it will also pop up on people's screens. And you can basically, in advance, select whether you want people to answer anonymously or whether everyone can see who answered what, and also whether participants are able to see the results in the end. So if you want to do something, if you want to do this poll in your session, you can let us know in advance and we can prepare it so it can be launched anytime, and results can also be exported later. So I think it's a good way to get to know participants better if there's anything you want to learn from their side, or if you want to do some interactive question in between that people can answer. Britta?
Yeah, can we have polls where we have more than one answer option available, or is it just, okay,
Yeah.
That's good. Because I want to do that to get, because if we have questions where there's only one right answer, then we don't get as much information as if we can have maybe 2 or 3 of the 4 or 5 options available.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have single or multiple choice questions. We don't have an option for free entry of text in the poll function, but you can do that through the chat. So if you have any question you want to ask people, they can just reply in the chat and use the poll just for the quantitative parts.
Okay, and just one other question, which is that, so I guess because it's coming from your computer, I'm getting the option to submit my answer in German.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem for anyone. Will it be something that comes up both on the screen and in the chat, or just one?
I think the poll will always come up in both, in the chat and separately as a pop-up on the screen. I don't know if it was that the same for everyone. Did it pop up and come up in the chat as well?
I see it.
Maybe you can give me a thumbs up if that worked, so we can test the reactions as well.
I see it in the chat, but it didn't pop up on my screen.
Yeah, for me too, it's only in chat, and I echo Britta's comment about the German as opposed to English.
Yeah, no, thanks for I meant to change my computer language to English actually yesterday and forgot about it.
Yeah, I'll just query the language point. My button says submit in English, but the part at the top about the anonymity is in German.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. So we'll make sure this doesn't happen. Usually we'll do that from the Secretariat account, like launching the polls. I think that should then work as well.
It might be because I'm logged in as a guest, and I think Jules is as well. So that could have something to do with the difference in the settings.
That might be. Yeah. Well, anyway, it shouldn't come up in German. Sorry, Jules. Say it again.
We just need to clarify it so that it's in English when we do the real live things.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so it's afternoon for most of us, and early morning for some. And I think it's late evening for Fred and Jules, if that's
correct.
Right.
They must not have voted.
You didn't vote, right?
I just pushed the close button. It worked.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So so I think ideally, if you want to launch a poll in your session, if you just send us the question and the answers in advance, that would be great, because then we can prepare that and just don't have to do that while we are speaking. Should I continue with the second point, Jeff, or do you want to?
Just quickly, we'll if you send out the Teams links in advance, then we can set up our own polls. Will you be doing so? I mean, I assume you'll have to set it up at some point in advance anyway.
We have set it up. It's a meeting series, and it's always the same link.
Okay.
So we'll forward that to you after the meeting today, and we also wanted to forward you separate invites for your own sessions, so you know where you're coming, like as the trainers, where you'll be asked. But we'll send you the meeting invite, the series anyway, and it's always the same link.
Yeah, so we should actually be able to set up our own polls if we want to as well. I see I can right now as well.
I think it depends on whether you're using the app or the browser version. So I think that's probably the difference. If you can and if you want to.
It'd be easier to set our own polls up as opposed to writing them out and then getting a third party to do it.
We can set it up in advance of the meeting as well. Or if you want to set up your own poll, maybe we could have you join 15 minutes early for setting it up.
Either way is fine. I think whatever is easier for you.
The next item on the agenda before we go to our breakout rooms is just that if you have any technical problems during your webinar in the chat, write something to @Secretariat. That way it'll definitely pop up on Rochelle's screen right away. Just the only word of warning, all of the chats are, unlike if you've used Zoom or something where you could chat with just a person privately, this chat is not private. So be aware that your participants will read what you write. After that, I think it's just moved. I'll say, Janina or Rochelle, you want to lead us through a breakout exercise?
Yeah, maybe just in terms of the help function. So you can always send us an email as well. So Rochelle and I are both also monitoring our emails. So if it's something you don't want to send through the chat, you can email us and we will see it on the side.
What's the email address?
Our personal ones. I think that's better.
Okay, then you need to provide us with those.
We will probably summarize all of that again in an email and send it to you as well. But I think both Rochelle and I were copied also in the emails before. And the @Secretariat is also needed in the breakout rooms if you wanna send an email or if you want to send a message to the Secretariat. when you are in the breakout session and you type add secretariat, it also pops up on our screens, even though we are not logged into the same breakout session. So it's always a method to get our attention if you want to solve something in the breakout room.
It would be great if everyone quickly tries out tagging Secretariat in a chat message. So when you type add Secretariat, you have to make sure it's tagged. So there's a difference between just typing the text add Secretariat or clicking on the name so that it gets tagged.
Well, maybe you need to give us some instructions to clarify that.
Yeah, we can include that in the email.
Oh, so could you explain how I would do that then? Would I go into the chat and click the name in the chat or in the list of participants?
So when you start typing, when you type add in the chat, and then
okay, I see
writing sec, it comes up, it pops up as a, and then you click on that, and then it's tagged. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That worked out. All right. For the breakout sessions, we just wanted to try that out today to show you how it looks like when we split people up. Maybe just when you want to use the breakout rooms, I think it would be good if you let us know in advance how many people you want to have in each breakout session, so how many groups we need to set up, and whether people can be distributed randomly or whether you're thinking about a certain combination of people. Both can be done. It's just better to know in advance so that we can arrange that. What we wanted to do now is just split up in 2 groups and use that to both practice controlling the slides, just to see how that works on everyone's end, and then how people can work on a document together, or not on a document together, because that's not possible on Teams, but how people can share their screen, take notes, and then share that back in the main room. Unfortunately, we are not able to use a whiteboard in Teams. That function is not available when you dial in from different organizations at the moment, but we can we can ask people to download a template, share their own screens, write notes, and then share it back with the whole group when we come back later. So I would suggest that we split up in 2 groups now, and then we can just practice in the smaller groups. So I think Rochelle will now send us to 2 different rooms.
Yes, I am launching them, but it does take a moment. Does anyone have any questions so far?
Yeah, it's Stuart. I'm not sure I did the chat at Secretariat correctly. But...
It's not tagged. If you just type in add and then start writing Secretariat, there should be a and then if you click on that, which comes up, then it should be tagged.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is that an old hand or a new one?
No, new one. How do I change my background for my video?
You can go to the 3 dots, and then there's an option, and now it's again, mine is in German. So
Apply background effects.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing show background effects, and the only options I get are to leave it as is or to blur the background.
Yeah.
There should be a little plus. There should be a little plus.
No
At
plus.
the top that says add new.
No, haven't got it.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah, I think the answer may be that Teams is sensitive to how much power your computer has, and it doesn't find it easy to put the background in unless your computer is relatively new.
Mine should be able to do that, but
Yeah, should be.
Well, mine's new enough to do it for other applications, so, and I have done it, so I'm a bit puzzled why I can't do it here.
well,
I think
you
it
and I
might
are
have
both.
something to do with whether you do it before or after you join the meeting.
Well, you and
You
I are
can-
both showing up as guests, so I wonder if that also has something to do with it.
Could be.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you first join the meeting, you can set your audio and video settings, so you may be able to apply a background that way.
Yeah, but that's before you join the meeting as opposed to during the meeting.
Yes, that might be the only option if it's not allowing you to change it currently.
Can you clarify that before we go into the real sessions?
Yes, we'll send a summary of everything at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, I think you may need the app to be able to get all the functionality of Teams.
Yeah, I'm using the app.
Okay, so we can clarify this issue later on. If there's no other questions, we can start the breakout rooms now.
We'll also come back afterwards, so you can either ask your questions in the groups or keep them, and we can get back to that later as well.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi everyone, I'm here.
Hi.
So we're waiting on either Yanina or Rochelle to join us to lead us through our exercise.
Okay.
There's an announcement.
Yeah, just a welcome.
There's our leader. Rochelle, you're on mute.
Okay, oh, sorry. We just want to demonstrate how it will look to the participants. So we will share links to a template, for example, to answer the case study questions. I've just shared the link for the template. Do I have any volunteers to download the template and share their screen?
I'm just downloading, and I will share my screen in just a moment if it's successful. You get back.
So our idea is for these breakout sessions to get the groups to organize themselves into a note taker and a moderator. So the group and the moderator can discuss their questions, and the note taker can fill out the template and present it in the main session. And we will also share these documents. We can email the slides to all the participants, but usually they may not download in advance, so we can also share this download link so that they can download the template and compile their answers together. So You have to
Can
log
you
in
just-
to download the file, perhaps. Has anyone else tried to download the file?
I just copied the link and pasted it in my browser, so I have it downloaded.
Well done.
Yeah, but just clicking the link didn't work for me.
Okay, that's good to know. We might advise them to copy and paste the link.
It almost seems like you need to be logged in, and then once you're logged in, now click the link, Fred, and see if it works better for you.
I may still be logged in. Let me check.
Okay, wonderful. So we will try to get the participants to download these in advance by email, but sending the link like this will be our other option because it's hard to get a group of people to follow instructions sometimes. So the breakout session will have their discussion and the note taker will take notes on the screen. And I believe that when you're sharing the PowerPoint, you may not be able to see the rest of we can't see the PowerPoint anymore. So
No,
I think
no, I understand. One thing to note is that when the PowerPoint opens, PowerPoint's in a mode that won't allow them to edit it. They have to push the yellow bar at the top. I'm sorry, it doesn't now show because I pushed it, but it says it's not permitting editing and you have to push that yellow thing.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, they have to enable editing because of it's a downloaded file.
So you probably need to tell them.
Okay, thank you. I just took a note of that. And I believe that when you're viewing the PowerPoint, you can't view the Teams group anymore. So that's why our idea is to have a note taker and a monitor. The moderator, the note taker will fill in the slide while the group discusses it, and the moderator can try to lead the discussion. So this is what the experience would be like. So maybe we can just put in some random words or phrases and see how the experience goes. Has anyone read this case study or seen it? Jeff, could you give us a contribution?
They had some conflicts of interest with between the people running the company and the person who's the supervisor. So that's one issue. They also tried to grow too fast. They took some risks to grow fast.
Rochelle, can you see I've amended my version, but what's the
Yes.
is everybody's question supposed to go on the same one?
Yes, we can see live what you're doing, and the groups will compile their answers together and then present it in the main.
Oh, right. Okay. So the scribe person opens the PowerPoint. Everybody else tells them what to put down by speaking, right? And they write it into the PowerPoint. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think, Jeff, we have 30 minutes planned for these breakout sessions.
Do you mean today or during the
During the webinars.
The length of the breakout session will just vary by the activity. So if the trainer says that they need a 10-minute for the breakout session, then it's up to each trainer to decide how long the breakout should take. Case studies take longer. Case studies breakouts are designed to be longer, but for example, if Fred wants to have a breakout for insurer distress, he may only think people need 7 minutes.
We need to consider time to set it up, and hopefully the someone in the group will volunteer to be the note taker, the moderator.
So one thing we've seen is
Yeah.
when you're sharing your own PowerPoint on your own computer, like what Fred is doing, it's hard to see the Teams controls. But when you are presenting your webinar, we have a way where we can drive the PowerPoint and you will still be able to see all the chat windows and everything else. So we want to be sure we do that here as well.
The PowerPoint Live feature. Right, Jeff?
No, I thought it was going to be like what Yanina loaded up the slides that I was just presenting on her machine, and then I was able to take control.
Yes, so I can upload the presentation and we can demonstrate that now. So the idea of when we're going through the slides is that Janina or I will upload your presentations, and then you will take control of the presentation and then be able to move it at your own pace. We found that this works best because if you present it from your own computer, you will no longer be able to see the participants or the chat or any raised hands. So we'd like everyone to quickly practice this, for someone to take control and practice moving the slides. So Elias took control. He's now moving the slides at his own pace.
I will say one warning: don't hit that you want to stop controlling, because then you close the slides. So it's if someone else wants to take control, they can do that without it closing. But as soon as someone hits I want to cancel my control, it closes the slides for everybody.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that because I clicked take control just before Elias did, but he took control from me. And so will our participants be able to take control?
Yeah, just tell them to stop.
Oh, okay.
Take it back.
Yeah, it's sometimes in a setting like this, people see buttons and they're like, I wonder what would happen if, and so it's possible that we're going to get some curious people clicking and seeing what happens.
So in this practice session, I'm glad I hit stop. Just as a good lesson there.
Okay, I'm getting the slides up again, so the next person can practice taking control. Yeah, I think we need to summarize this again with the participants at the first stage. Please not take control of the slides.
Yeah, because I saw the option come up yesterday, and the curiosity was strong, but I didn't click it.
Mm-hmm.
I think all you have to do is to tell people that if they take control, they have to give the presentation, and you find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got it fine now. Somebody else can take over.
Yeah, we do have to work within the limitation of Teams. Unfortunately, we cannot change the settings, so hopefully we'll just be able to take back control when someone goes rogue.
When I took control, there was an option to stop participants from moving through the slides. So does that stop anybody else from taking control?
So what happens there is when the slide is loaded, people from their own view can go through the slides, but only they see it. And then they have an option, when you do that, you have an option that says live sync to presenter slide 6 to go back to where the presenter is at.
Okay, all right. So they can move back and forwards on their own regardless of what we have on our screens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop the presentation again.
Sorry.
So I think this will be less confusing because it will just be one person taking control for their presentation. It won't be multiple. It will just be handed off between Janina and the presenter.
And then for the sessions where we might be going back and forth, because Stuart and I will be presenting different portions of the presentation, so we can then just hand the presentation over to each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Take it from each other.
Yeah.
And then when you do breakout rooms, right, so you will be with the participants, or are you guys going to split, like if you did two, Stuart, you go in one, and Britta, you're in another, or?
We haven't actually discussed those details yet.
Okay. But that's, you can do that. You can opt to do that, right? And is that feasible? Or
We
breakout?
can people between sessions, but with 40 participants, we would probably need something like 6 breakout rooms.
Right.
But if you want to be moved to another room, you can tag Secretariat. You can write, Secretariat, please move me to another room, or to group 4 or something, and then we can reassign you.
I see.
Yeah, I think if we get to the situation where there are 6 breakout rooms and only 4 facilitators, we may need to be quite slick at doing that. So good idea to raise that question now.
Yeah, it'll be more of an issue for the week 1 webinars than it will be for the week 2, week 3, week 4, and people have gotten some practice. But for Fred and Stuart on the week 1 presentations, it'll be people's first times in a breakout room.
Yeah. Somebody else can have control. I was just trying out the highlight pen just then. Quite interesting.
Stuart, have you tried taking control?
Sorry. There we go.
So if that works well for everyone, we can do it this way during the webinars.
Yeah.
We'll upload the slides, and then you can take control and move them.
So then at the end of the breakout session, when the note taker, like in this case, Fred, has got some answers to the case study question, we'll go back to the big group, and then Fred, you would share your screen. Whoever the participant is would share their screen and share their answers with a larger group.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have to take control. To do that, I have to take control, stop presenting, and then share the screen and raise up the slide. Can you all see that?
We don't see your screen yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Maybe I haven't pushed. I always forget to push that button. There you go.
Yeah.
About that.
Right.
That looks right. Right. So stop presenting, I think, is the key.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover here, Rochelle?
I think that's all. Just a reminder that when you're in the breakout room, your way to get help is to, in the chat, tagging Secretariat. If you ask to be moved around, it may take a minute for that to go through, because starting the breakout rooms and reassign people can take a minute to fully go through. And if there's 6 breakout rooms and a lot of people are having issues, it could take, just in case there's some problem affecting a lot of people, it might take a few extra minutes for us to get to you, because actually we can only one person can log in at a time as Secretariat, but we'll try to help everyone as fast as possible. But just in case it's a bit slow or it takes a bit longer, we appreciate your patience.
Does everyone use their hand raising before to say they have a question? Or if you're presenting and someone raises their hand, you know that they're trying to say something. And I always have a hard time putting my hand down after I've raised it. There. Okay, you have to click the hand again.
You can give actions like clapping.
I found that Teams, I get a little bit of a delay when I'm clicking the buttons, whether it's a raise hand or mute. So I think we're just going to have to be a little bit patient with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some participants may have connection issues or bandwidth issues, so they might not be able to turn their video or they might drop out. It's completely normal, and we just try to roll with it and help them turn off their video if that's a problem.
Yeah, I
But,
think we've got two presenters in every session, so it should be possible if the presenters get line problems. It should be possible to cover. Most of the presenters could do either piece, so it should work. Can I just, Jeff, you were asking about any surprises in the scheduling. I just want to ask Simone, I think you're the lead presenter in your session with Jules, is that right?
I think we're going to be going back and forth.
Yeah. Okay, so just yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I never
I
changed that, but that's fine. I can show it either way. So are we?
Well, who's up first, Simone? Is it you?
We have a call later today to figure out some of
Oh,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Well, you let Jeff know if you need to change it, right? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I think the other group is ready to go back. So I will end the breakout rooms. Jeff, I actually have another meeting, so I have to leave.
Okay, we'll assign everything to you.
We are back in the main room now. Welcome back.
Good, thanks. Rochelle said she was just off to another meeting, so I'm not sure whether she's joining us or not.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back, but I do have to join another call. Janina, just write me if you need something, but any follow-up questions we can certainly address.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I will just pull up the slides again. I realized we are a bit over time, but just getting them back. Simone, can I ask you a quick question? Because I see you're also logged in as a guest for some reason. Are you able to tag Secretariat?
Yeah, I did. I did that test.
Sure.
I think it worked. So.
Okay. Because for some reason
It says I no longer have access to the chat, though. I'm not sure why. let me see. Can I tag someone else to try or?
No, I think it's because I think that's the chat, the breakout sessions chat, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm logged in as guest, but I was able to tag the Secretariat. Well, because I copied and pasted at Secretariat the first time. That's why it didn't work. But
Jules, and maybe we can catch up again in a separate call and just try it out again before your first session. To make sure it works.
Okay, so I can tag you. I think the Secretariat is gone, so it doesn't. So.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
But I will download the app. I don't have the app currently, but we do have access to it, and maybe I'll get a little bit more familiar. We don't really use it day to day, but Teams. So.
Okay, sure. Jeff, do you want to continue with the forum or should I?
Yeah, I'll go through these. I know we're out of time. I'll go through these. These won't take very long. Bullet point 4 here is the forum questions. At the end of each module, we ask people to go into a forum and submit questions that they have about that content, the topic. And I think this would be useful for you to see those questions. This was actually suggested by Jules, to see those before your session is maybe a way to help you plan ahead how you're going to get some discussion going with your group. So we are going to send you an email that has a direct link to, instead of you having to find the form, we're going to send you an email so you can directly link to the one you want to go to and read those responses. I think that's all I wanted to say about the forum questions. You can also reply to people in the forums if you want to address them in the forum. Otherwise, you can just wait and address it during your webinar. Items we need from you. We're going to need your slides when you're done making your edits for your webinar. Get those to us as soon as they're available. Any activities that you're going to have, if you need breakout sessions or polls, let us know in advance. We can plan ahead. And if you'd like to have a pre-meeting practice run through your webinar, we can have that. So that's the last bullet point here. We can do a request a pre-meeting with us, and we'll set up your webinar slides, and you can go through the activities with us and raise any questions or issues you have. Any comments or final questions?
Yeah, my only question is, why are some of us logged in as guests and some of us not?
That is a good question. I have no idea. We're going, we'll try to find out.
Yeah, no, I think it's because I don't have the app. But you said, Britta, you have the app.
Yeah, I'm using the app.
Yeah.
Because I really want to get the...
You click on log in to the meeting from the invitation, and
that's what I did.
That generated me being a guest, which is not quite sure why.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good to find out. We'll try to.
Yeah, because that's probably why I can't change my background, and I definitely want to do that.
But when you logged in, Britta, you use the app, or because you still have the choice. You can through the app or through the browser. If you go through the browser, that's what I do. So maybe I thought that might be the reason.
No, I clicked the link from the email, and it asked me if I wanted to open the app, and just logged me in as guest.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. But if it doesn't know that you're responding from the email address that the invitation was sent to, if you forwarded the invitation or anything like that, it might interfere. No?
No, straight from my Outlook address, so everything should have been smooth sailing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good point, and we'll try to solve that. I think you've all received as well the email this morning with the recordings from the participant onboarding yesterday. It's not very long actually, and it also has a small demonstration in between on Connect A2I. So if you want to take a look just to see how to move around the platform, access the modules, and also the forums where to find all of this, you can also have a look at that, or just let us know, and we can also take you through any of that if that's helpful. Rachel also posted the link to the introduction forum in the chat here. I think I can just repost it as well. If you want to introduce yourselves, people started getting quite active there. So I think if you want to participate, just go in and introduce yourselves as well. Yeah, I think that's it from our side.
Okay, well, that actually brings up the one other thing that we should probably look at is about clicking the links in the chat or copying and pasting, because the clicking's not working for that introductions link either.
So that's again one of the guest problems, I guess, because for Jules it didn't work as well. Yeah. Okay.
So will the participants be logged in as guests or not?
I don't think I didn't really pay attention to that yesterday because they weren't asked to interact. I don't think so. But
Okay.
Britta, are you logged into
Yeah.
your Connect account?
Sorry?
Are you logged in on, do you have the Connect website open and you're logged into it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, then yeah, that's the only other option. That's the only other thought I had. Maybe you weren't logged in yet.
No, I was logged in before I came into this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm logged in. I just clicked on the introductions thing there and it opened up.
Yeah, you're not a guest though, so yeah, that must be it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a takeaway for us, definitely.
The
Good.
only other thing I just remembered I forgot to mention was the slides. What we sent you from the prior training was one dimension. It wasn't widescreen, 16 by 9. We're trying to put all the slides on 16 by 9. So either you can build your slides if you've already done a lot of work in your slides on the old dimensions, whether they were 4 by 3 or whatever. That's fine. We can change them to 16 by 9 once we receive them from you, or we can also send you a template that's 16 by 9 so you can build them like that initially. So sorry about that.
Yeah, I'd prefer to get the template and work on it myself. So if you can send that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put that in the summary email after the call today. Okay.
I'm out
Good.
of slides, Janina.
We are out of slides.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if there are any further questions, please feel free to ask them now or follow up anytime with with Rochelle, me. You can also use the connect@hri.org address that is here. We have all of them in our inboxes as well, so that also works. Or you can use our private email addresses. You can also ask any questions at a later point in time, of course. Stuart?
Yes, I was listening to the suggestion at one point that you could facilitate a dry run, and I'm addressing these remarks actually to Britta and to Fred, where I'm helping them with their presentations. For me personally, the amount of technology you've introduced me to, I don't think I could do if the seminar was tomorrow. So I would be reliant on Britta and Fred to be driving the technology. I'm happy with the subject material, very much so, as you know. The technology, I was just kind of, whoa, all sorts of stuff going back and forth. So I haven't used this type of technology before. So I can see how it's working, but I couldn't drive it immediately myself, if you get my drift.
Stuart, given that you and I will be on first rather than you and Britta, and I think we were going to have a call anyway, if you want to organise the session at a time, I can make that. I don't know if we need do we need anybody from Secretariat to do that? We probably do, don't we?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking perhaps more about the breakout sessions, that if you and I go into different breakout sessions, that potentially puts me in charge of the technology, trying to take notes and so forth, and I don't really feel comfortable in that.
We always have both Rochelle and me, and also Jeff probably on most of the sessions. So I think we can help out on technology as well. But I think we are more than happy to organize a dry run next week, and we can just do the breakout sessions and that again to just see how it works.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
It needs to be early next week, of course, because we're actually on next week.
Yes.
And normally, Stuart, the note taker person is supposed to be one of the group members. If not, I guess the Secretariat person could do it, but it's better if you can get one of the team, one of the delegates to do it.
Right. Okay.
All right. There are no more questions for now. Well, then, thank you very much again for taking the time for this for this onboarding and for all the work that you've put in and are going to put into this training. It's really great, and I think we do have a great group of participants as well. So looking forward to.
Oh, it's
to
a
this
wonderful
whole week.
platform you've set up.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and as I said, I guess we can't really change anything on the modules while we go through the training now, because participants will receive a message that the training has changed and that their progress can't be saved. But if you have any comments on your own modules or other modules or the user experience, anything, I think it would be great if you would take notes, let us know, and we can improve that for the next ones that we are going to have. So that would be very, very useful. All right. Jeff, any final words from your side?
Just a big thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
No, sorry, I thought you said I don't always get the last word, but I'm sure it'll go really well on the night. And in the theatre, they say break a leg, but let's not do that, eh?
All right. Well, thanks everyone, and see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.